I never thought my marriage would end with a price tag. But that night, when my wife looked me dead in the eyes and said, "If you want me tonight, it's going to cost you," something inside me broke, quietly, completely, and beyond repair. My name's Ethan Cole, 36 years old. I've been married to Lydia for 8 years. We weren't perfect, but I thought we were real. We fought, made up, laughed, and survived things that would have crushed weaker couples. Job loss, miscarriage, moving cross-country. Through it all, I believed love held us together. Until that night. It started innocently enough. We hadn't been intimate for weeks. Lydia had been distant, distracted, buried in her phone, claiming exhaustion or headaches whenever I tried to connect. I chalked it up to stress. She'd recently started working as a freelance consultant for some marketing firm. Long hours, late calls, messages at midnight. I trusted her. But that night I was sitting at the kitchen table, scrolling through some emails when I heard her humming upstairs. Cheerful tune. Felt forced. I walked up and saw her sitting at her vanity, putting on perfume, at 10:30 p.m. Going somewhere? Asked lightly. She startled slightly. No, just couldn't sleep. Perfume helps you sleep now. Her reflection froze in the mirror. For a second I thought she'd say something sincere. Instead she forced a smile. You're imagining things again, Ethan. Again. That word. As if concern were a disease I kept relapsing into. I walked closer, trying to bridge the growing space between us. Lydia, we haven't really been close lately. Is something wrong? She sighed. That long, heavy sigh that said she'd already given up trying to explain. You always make it sound like a tragedy, Ethan. People change. Passion fades. It's normal. Normal, said my voice catching. It's not normal to act like your husband's a stranger. Her tone sharpened. Maybe I wouldn't if you didn't act like one. Silence. The kind that crawls under your skin and stays there. I stepped back, swallowing my pride. I just want us back. Whatever it takes. She looked up then, cold, detached, and said, Whatever it takes. Yes. She turned toward me, eyes glinting. Then pay me. I thought I'd misheard. What? Pay me, she repeated. You want me. Then compensate me for my time. You think everything can be fixed with effort, with emotion. But emotion doesn't pay bills, Ethan. My throat tightened. You're joking. She didn't blink. I'm not. The perfume still hung in the air, sweet and suffocating. I laughed weakly, hoping she'd crack, say it was sarcasm, anything. But she just stood there, waiting. Something inside me turned cold. Lydia, I said slowly. What happened to us? Her lip curled slightly. We grew up. You just didn't keep up. I left the room before my anger could find words. I spent that night on the couch, staring at the ceiling, listening to her walk back and forth upstairs. My mind played every memory of us. The first kiss, the vows, the hospital waiting room when she cried over the miscarriage. And I wondered how a person so familiar could suddenly feel like a stranger you owed money to. The next morning she acted like nothing happened. Made coffee, scrolled her phone, smiled faintly. But something shifted inside me. Not rage, not sorrow. Just a quiet, chilling clarity. I started watching. Not obsessively but attentively. Patterns emerged. She guarded her phone like it was a vault. She laughed softly at messages, deleted threads, changed passwords. She'd go for walks at night and return smelling faintly of men's cologne I didn't own. I confronted her a week later. Who is he? She blinked. Who? The one you're dressing up for. The one who makes you laugh at midnight. She smirked, crossing her arms. You're paranoid. No, Lydia. I'm observant. You don't wear silk for insomnia. And you don't smile at your phone like that unless someone's giving you a reason to. Her smirk vanished. Even if there was someone, can you blame me? That hit harder than any confession could. You mean you are seeing someone, I said quietly. She looked away. He understands me. He doesn't make me feel guilty for wanting more. I swallowed hard. And what do you want, Lydia? To feel alive again. And money helps with that too, right? Her eyes darted to me, sharp and defensive. Don't twist it. I shook my head. You sold intimacy, Lydia. You put a price tag on something sacred. That's not twisting, that's truth. She didn't answer. She just walked out, grabbed her purse and slammed the door. The next evening, while she was out meeting a client, I opened her laptop. I shouldn't have, I know that. But when trust dies, curiosity becomes survival. Her messages were still there, though she'd deleted most. I found one thread she'd missed, a string of chats between her and a man named Ryan. Ryan, you get the money I sent. Lydia, yeah, I'll transfer it tomorrow. Ryan, and your husband. Lydia, still clueless. Though he did try to buy me last night. Irony, right? Ryan, you're a wild one, babe. I read it twice, the words slicing deeper each time. She wasn't just cheating. She was taking money from someone else for something she mocked me for wanting. That was the night something inside me snapped. Not in fury, in decision. The next morning I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I went to work, finished a report, and during lunch I called my lawyer friend Paul. Can I file for divorce based on infidelity? He was silent for a second. If you've got proof. I do. He exhaled. Then it's time to stop being a husband and start being a man who values his peace. That line stayed with me. 2 days later, when Lydia came home from yoga, she found me at the dining table with 2 envelopes, one marked for you, and one marked for your lawyer. She frowned. What's this? Divorce papers, I said, voice steady. And a copy of the messages between you and Ryan. Her eyes widened. You went through my stuff. I went through our laptop. The one I paid for. Just like I paid for this house. The one you invited your guilt into. She tried to scoff. So you're ending it over some messages? No, Lydia. I'm ending it because you sold what was ours. You treated marriage like a business transaction, and I'm cashing out. She stood frozen, tears welling. Maybe guilt, maybe fear. Ethan, please. I made mistakes, yes, but I didn't mean to. Stop, I said, holding up a hand. Don't insult me with apologies that come with excuses. Her voice cracked. Where will I go? That's not my concern anymore. You chose this path when you put a price on love. She stared at me, trembling. You can't just throw me out. I stood, handed her the envelope and said calmly, out. That word, simple, final, echoed through the house like a gunshot. She left that night. Took her suitcase, her perfume, her laptop, and the silence she'd left behind. I sat there for hours, staring at the empty chair across the table. The place where she used to laugh over burnt pancakes. Where she told me we'd name our child Emma. Where she slowly stopped being my wife and became someone else entirely. I thought I'd feel rage. But I didn't. I felt relief, sharp and unfamiliar, like breathing clean air after years underground. The next weeks were strange. The quiet felt heavy yet healing. Friends asked what happened. I told them the truth, without bitterness. She forgot what love meant. One night I got a message from an unknown number. It was her. I messed up. I lost everything. I'm sorry. I stared at the screen for a long time before replying. You didn't lose everything, Lydia. You sold it. And I blocked her. It's been 6 months now. The house feels different, lighter. I took down our wedding photos, repainted the bedroom, and started journaling again. It's strange how pain, once faced, becomes peace. Sometimes, I still wake up expecting to hear her humming upstairs. But then I remember that sound doesn't belong here anymore. People often ask me if I'd ever forgive her. And I always say, forgiveness isn't about letting someone back in. It's about letting them go without letting their poison stay in you. Because love, real love, isn't something you can buy, rent, or barter for. It's something you protect, nurture, and value like the one currency that never loses worth. Trust. And once that's gone, once someone charges you for what should have been freely given, you don't bargain. You just hand them the papers and say, out.